I am going to show you this ride here, which is marked off on Google Maps from my neighborhood in Bordeaux and Northwest Nashville to Green Fleet Bikes in North Nashville. I'm going to be talking about the infrastructure such as it is. Using a point system, I'm going to tally up the positives and negatives of the bike infrastructure. So it'll be -2 for bad infrastructure and +1 for good infrastructure. Starting the ride on Dry Mallet Drive, this is just a suburban two-way. It has no bike infrastructure. I'm not going to knock it for that because if I do, we'll just be like at -100 real quick. I mean, I guess I could. It's a 30-mile-an-hour road, so at least the posted speed limit is slow, but the wide lanes really make it easy for people to drive much faster. South Hamilton Road is just more of the same, but more lanes. I am going to start deducting points here, because here we do have quote-unquote bike infrastructure, as you may see there, what is called a sharrow. And research has shown that sharrows are actually less safe than nothing at all. On this 7-lane strode, this highway monstrosity that connects Bordeaux to North Nashville, the only bike infrastructure are little share the road signs. So fuck that, I'm riding the sidewalk, which I'm sure is probably not legal, but I value my life more than a fine. And it's not like riding the sidewalk is safe at all. Cars could easily jump the curb and smash you into the river. The sidewalk is narrow, it's full of debris, and it sucks. The only reason it feels somewhat safe is because you don't see the traffic coming past you until it's already past you, but wait till the end and I'm riding the opposite direction. It's terrifying. We are coming up to Ed Temple Boulevard in our first actual bit of bike infrastructure, which is basically a painted bike gutter with floppy bike bollards. I'm not giving this a positive, I'm giving it a negative. Because while it is better than maybe a painted bike gutter because there is a physical barrier, it does carve out some space from the shoulder of the road, maybe psychologically or maybe physically slightly narrows the lane, but these will not do anything to stop a car from running you over. -2 it is. Not only that, but the bike lane is just the shoulder of the road and the gutter. So there's like almost, 2 feet, 2.5 feet of actual bike lane, and the rest is just the gutter, the rain gutter. So come on, that's like not even a bike lane. That's just the bare minimum that Nashville could spare. And instead of waiting like a car on that light, I just used the crosswalk to ride my bike. I'm not sure if that was the right thing to do, but here we are on Buchanan Street and another 2-lane suburban road with no bike infrastructure. And this is there might be a sign here or there indicating that this is a bike route, but yeah, so -2. As you'll see, somebody's going to pass me rather close. So even though there's no sharrows here, people still feel entitled to tell you that you don't belong. There we go. Thanks, Guy. Alright, so as we approach the more commercial district here on Buchanan Street, we're about to get a little bit more of that sweet, sweet bike infrastructure. Essentially the gutter, a little bit of shoulder, some painted barrier, and some floppy bike bollards. I'm not going to give it another -2 because it's basically the same infrastructure as previously, but you know what, I'm going to, because it's a new road. A new road, a new chance for improvement. And you failed, Nashville. Here's another -2 because I'm just going to say every intersection there's no separate light or signaling for bikes and cars. That thing I just passed right there, maybe this is room for a plus one, so that's more like pedestrian infrastructure, that island in the middle. But it does narrow the road slightly, at least for that one intersection, possibly slows cars down, which maybe is a benefit to me, but I don't know, I'm reaching. I've got another negative too, and that's that the bike lane occupies the same grade level as the vehicle traffic. It's been shown to be safer and more permanent if bike infrastructure is raised above vehicle traffic. So we are on Arthur Avenue, and now both lanes are on the same side, but really no other changes or improvements to the infrastructure. You know what? Okay, I guess the big improvement here for sections of this road, I guess, are those bump outs. Even though there's no physical barrier, there's just painted bump outs. Well, the floppy ballers, but they barely count. I'll give a +1 to Arthur Avenue for having the lane protected by parked cars. And here I'm thinking, man, this lane is full of debris, and I wonder how long it's going to take Nashville's one and only bike sweeper to get back to this part of town. But look, there it is. Another problem with this road and this kind of suburban layout with all these driveways here is that some of the cars don't pull fully into the driveway, like that one. More stuff in the bike lane. Now here's a question, as an inexperienced rider and somebody who doesn't know everything there is to know about bike infrastructure, what do you think about the 90-degree hairpin turn here on this bike lane? Is that okay? Should I just have gone slower? Because I almost did fall there. And yeah, some of these like chicanes seem a little bit extreme, but I'm not sure. So I appreciate if somebody in the comments will let me know what they think about that. So we're on 10th Avenue North, continuing the route, no bike infrastructure, so yeah, -2. At least parked cars narrow the roadway significantly. And I'm reaching my destination. I'm going to Greenfleet Bike, which is right here on the right. One of these shops here, you can't see it, but all these rear drives are blocked off. So I've got to circle around and go to the front side. I'm just kind of looking for a way to cut through, so I'm going to jump into this parking lot of Church's Chicken. It's Popeyes. And cut over to Jefferson Street. It's a main thoroughfare, commercial thoroughfare in North Nashville, and no bike infrastructure, -2. And things are about to get hairy here. You could hear the groan escape my body. Well, that's a fractured bone in my elbow. That was right in front of my destination. I picked myself up and walked my bike over to the front door, and I went in and I was like, hey, I just fell off my bike. Do you mind if I sit down for a minute? And they graciously allowed me to sit on the stool for a bit, got me a bottle of water. I didn't hit my head, but I feel like the fall really jarred my head pretty hard. And plus the pain in my arm, my elbow, my ribs, really was making me nauseous. And anyway, I walked it off, sat it off. Managed not to throw up in their store. But yeah, I didn't know that I have a fractured elbow here, but I'm gonna ride home. I'm not gonna go through this entire ride back because it's the same exact route, but I'm just gonna point out maybe one or two things along the way, but I'm just gonna zip through particular sections. Again, I'm gonna leave it up to you guys. Is this okay? So instead of going all the way around this island, which is another crazy 90-degree turn, I cut the island, so is that good infrastructure, like slowing bikes down? Or is it bad structure for making them take such... I mean, it's not hard to make a 90-degree turn on a bike if you're going slow enough. And I guess there's nothing wrong with slowing down. This is the lane that the Sweepy had already gone down, so it's blessedly free of crap. Should we give Nashville a +1 because it does have a bike lane sweeper with plans to get more? Scooter in the lane. And the problem with painted bike gutters, even with some sort of floppy barriers occasionally, is that people do not feel compelled to respect them. They're just car parking lots. So -2. And construction crews, dump trucks, etc., delivery trucks also. I mean, he could definitely have gone into that gravel lot, but nah. As I approach this massive intersection with Clarksville Pike again, the 7-lane monstrosity, instead of riding in the lane, so I wasn't really sure. I was thinking about, what am I supposed to do here? Because I know the bike lane is going to end, so am I supposed to get back out into traffic and then just ride across the intersection as if I am a car? So instead of doing that, I decided once again to ride in crosswalk. I'm just not feeling that confident about riding in this traffic on this kind of road. And this is not fun whatsoever, riding this narrow sidewalk against traffic with cars whizzing by mere feet from you, with obstructions in the sidewalk. And my bike does bottom out on this section of where the sidewalk has buckled, where that mimosa tree is, which could have thrown me out into the traffic lane. I mean, this is insanity. Like, this just makes me so angry. And my wife rides this every day to and from work. And like every day, I am just fearful that she will be hurt or worse. The grand total for this trip is -24. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this. Hope you got something out of it. Stay tuned for some more bike routes to come and more commentary. Let me know in the comments if you enjoyed this kind of video, or what you would like to know about biking in Nashville or mobility in Nashville, anything like that. All right, see you later.